Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Football Friday. We are here for your pleasure, your enjoyment, and most of all, your entertainment. With me, as always, my good friend in the world, Jeffrey, looking good as always. Love the shirt, love the energy. Look at that smile, the dimples. What a pleasure to be here with you on this fabulous Friday, my friend.
Good morning or afternoon, wherever you're watching and listening from.
Yes,
just a pleasure to be here. You know?
Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are.
Yeah, it's definitely what the Patriots said to the Jets last night.
They did. Let's just get straight into it. We got a full slate going on. The Jets go to the Patriots 14-27. I think did this line hit 14.5? I think it did it not?
I don't know. I saw it at 13.5, 43.5 total. I've said all week, this is right. This is just the spot that you take the Jets plus 13.5 and take the under, right? Probably a good bet. Guess what I didn't bet?
You did not bet the Jets, but you took the under.
No, No, I didn't take anything. I just took player props and lost everything. So it's great,
Yeah. Well, I did win $8 in DraftKings last night based on my one team fantasy parlay. Thank you so much, or whatever they call that. We had a little talk here at the pre-show, and I get it, and I reached out to Jeff over here, and I was talking about, is my blindness of Justin Fields, whatever. I get it that he's not the best quarterback in the world, but the amount of national shit talking that I hear is just egregious, bro. It is just egregious. Okay, so let's just talk about that real quick, like that, Chad. That Fields fumble late cost us. Are we talking about the snap, the shotgun drop? Because it was amazing in that moment. Kirk Herbstreit goes, "Oh, that was a good snap," and then he goes, "Oh, low snap, but good." And I'm like, Kirk, shut the fuck up, bro. Like you never, like, come on, man. Like, it was a bad snap. And then he went to grab it, and it got kicked by his offensive lineman. But he should have had it. Good, I get it, man. But like, it just feels like he drops. I listened to Kirk Herbstreit literally shit on Justin Fields for 5 minutes straight, and then he comes back and goes, "Let me also say, he's got all the talent in the world." Blah blah. Yeah, he realized what he was saying, and then he drops a 30 or 40-yard bomb straight into AD Mitchell's hands that just goes through his hands. Not a word. Not a word. It was a bad pass. Not a word about it going straight through his receiver's hands. He did have a lot of drops. I think AD had 3 of them. I get it. He's not the best quarterback. I get it. I guess over time, over film, we've seen the explosive plays. It just seems to me like he is just whatever. I get it. He's not a good quarterback. But to sit there on national television and every talk show and basically just tell him that, he's just dog shit, when you can see some of the plays, you can see it, and I get it over enough. There's not. I just don't understand, if you're going to shit on somebody for the entire game, at least then when he does have one good play, be like, yeah, hey, that was a good one. Be at both sides. On the other side, you had Drake May, which he said, every pass that Drake May throws is going to be on target. On target. Kirk Herbstreit. Next one, air mails. Not a word. I just find it funny. Anyway, it was a terrible game from the Jets side. If you're a Jets fan, you got picks coming up. I would argue to say as well, it wasn't necessarily just a gangbuster of a game from the Patriots either. Obviously, TreVeyon Henderson, 3 touchdowns. I don't know if did even hit 60 yards. I know he had a few good runs there, but obviously the receiving touchdown. Patriots get the win. That's all that matters. I did take them in one of my survivors last night to push through there. But yeah, I mean, kind of the thing that we all expected here. However, the Jets do end up covering, depending on what you got the line on.
Yeah, depending on what you got the line on. I thought there was a good fight from the Jets. They didn't quit. They're playing a tough defense, divisional opponent. I don't know. I thought they played hard. I think when you talk about Justin, the problem is that the process of information, and it just happens a beat too slow. And
yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
That's what gets him into trouble, is that there's that half a second where he should have got rid of the ball, and instead of he held it, and instead now of, he had the guy, breaking open. Now all of a sudden the ball's half second late behind him. And then, and look, you mentioned he's been really good with turnovers this year as well too. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. But yeah,
again, I'm with you. But when you also have the attempt of throwing 12 passes for an entire game, how much in a rhythm can you get in your passing game? I mean, They agree with me back there, Jeffrey. They agree with me.
Yeah.
They agree with everything I'm saying. But anyway, it is what it is. Patriots get it done. Patriots continue to roll. Week 10 NFL Monday night recap. The Eagles, Packers. What a snooze fest it was. Good defense, though. But also some bad offensive play. Well, let's talk about the Packers side of the ball as well. First, Micah Parsons, that defense holding the Eagles to 10 points. Saquon Barkley was also held in check. Jeff, I guess the biggest question I have for here is there's just zero passing game out of the Eagles. And again, we talk about, Justin and all of this stuff. And how many attempts does, Jalen Hurts has 26 attempts, ends up with 183. Wow. Did not see that. I'll be perfectly honest. I did not see. Yeah, that one bomb to Devontae Smith. That's what it was.
I thought too, the one to AJ on the 4th down, it was gettable. It was just a little bit underthrown, unfortunately.
To me, again, now this is probably just piggybacking on all the stuff that we've seen in the media, but to me, he kind of went for that ball, but he kind of didn't at the same time. I mean, we've seen some spectacular plays from number one receivers where they just jump over that defender, pick it up from over their heads. It seemed to me like he kind of went for it, but again, that's probably just reading too much into things. But yeah.
Yeah, listen, people hated this game. I loved the game. I thought it was great. I thought it was hard fought. I thought it was two defenses that were trying to play their ass off. It looked like it was a game that was going to decide who was going to play the game in the playoffs on their home field. And the Eagles won the game, and I think they'll be hosting the Packers at some point in the playoffs. Was kind of what I took away from it. I thought Jordan Love did miss Tucker Kraft a lot. I thought he was good in moments, not great in others. There needs to be more of a sense of urgency sometimes, I feel like, in that offense. It just feels slow. They got to pick it up somehow. And they continuously, they're not consistent. They play to whoever their competition is. They match whatever the other team is doing. They don't have an identity. I thought Josh Jacobs looked better than he has all year. I thought he ran hard. I think getting Jalen Phillips for the Eagles is incredible. And I think that we're going to look back on that, and that's going to be a huge pickup for them in the long run.
How he continues to get it done. We're going to get into our matchups here. It's coming up pretty soon, but I'm going to be very curious to this matchup, and I know you got some good thoughts on the Eagles matchup this week. Well, let's get into it. Week 11 is upon us. Let's start off with Jeffrey's Tampa Bay Buccaneers headed to Buffalo, in kind of a bad spot here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bills favored by 6.5 here. I think some is 5.5, 5, some 6. I don't, whatever. The one I have is at 6.5.
Why are we in a bad spot?
I just think it's a bad spot for the Bucs based off what the Bills are coming off of. Obviously being embarrassed, wanting to have a revenge game back at home, trying to get things right. And then on the other side, the Bucs are just too banged up right now, in my opinion. I think you really need Bucky back. And I think to your point, what you said, you need another receiver. Ibuka has been great. Tez Johnson has been serviceable as well. But to even get one Mike or Chris back would just be huge. Did McMillan come back yet, by the way?
No,
he's still not. Wow, that's been he was concussed in preseason, correct?
He broke his neck. So yeah.
I think it's a bad spot for the Bucs. That's me. So Jeff, tell me why it's not, and what you're looking for out of the Bucs then.
Well, I just thought that like last week was a bad spot for the Bucs, because if you play New England and you have all your weapons, it's a different story. But when you only have one weapon in Emeka Egbuka, and you're going against the best run defense in the NFL, well, now Christian Gonzalez can just take away half the field, and you're left with what we saw, which was K-Dot and Tez Johnson, right? That was all that Baker Mayfield had basically to be able to get the ball to be able to create points. I mentioned as well too, I was listening to a show that I listen to a lot called Sharper Square. And Simon brought this up about how the past 3 games, Baker Mayfield has 0 rushing yards whatsoever. And that was such a big part of their game, was Baker being able to hit these holes in these big moments and getting big third downs and rallying the team by maybe running through a linebacker or a DB or whatever it was. We haven't had that in the past 3 games. I don't know if he's hurt. They do need to try to get back to it somehow at some point. I just think this is very different because this Buffalo defense is terrible. They suck. And so, and especially they're the terrible rush defense, right? Which the Bucs have a good O-line. They're going to be able to push them around and create holes. They're going to be able to control the clock. Unfortunately, I work on Sunday because I would love to be there in that moment when the life is being sucked out of the Bills in the second half. And all their fans, if they didn't already realize it, all their fans know that they suck and this team is not winning a Super Bowl. You're not good. And you need a clean house in terms of your upper management and coaching staff, in my opinion. So I just think that what the Bucs do well is they're going to be able to mitigate Josh and what he does well defensively. And I think offensively, it doesn't matter the pieces that you have. You're going to be able to out scheme them on defense because I don't think they're very good on defense. But it is a spot. Like it's 100% a Buffalo spot coming off of a huge loss. Josh Allen back at home. But Baker's been really, really good in these spots as well, too.
Well, first of all, I will agree with you. Baker doesn't care. Anytime, anywhere. I know that. I also thought it was pretty cool seeing that they're back and forth. I didn't realize him and Josh are good friends. Like, I'd love to have a face-to-face conversation with him, but he's like 6'10", so I can't even look at him in the face. You know, then I can't remember what he said about small hands or something.
He said Baker's the type of guy who wears 2 gloves when he golfs.
Yeah. So, you know, it's always good to see that camaraderie. I think we can both agree that the Buffalo Bills have done Josh Allen a complete disservice going into the season, with the roster that they've given him. And there's a lot of chatter around that as far as, you know, when you get a quarterback like this, and whether you like Josh Allen or not, he's a top quarterback. Okay, the stats, the decision making, it's all there, but it's a small window, man. Like, okay, you got the Mahomes magic that doesn't happen. How long did it take Brady to get going? What kind of window was like that for him? And I think for me, the Buffalo Bills have just done them a complete disservice by the roster that they have given them. And to your point, yeah, I think there needs to be some changes.
Yeah, Chicago Bears, they made some like splashy moves that I think were like good to look at on paper. But in all actuality, is not at all what they needed. I thought the Bosa move was, I mean, okay, like for the vibes, I don't know. Like it just, I don't know. Some of those things just didn't make sense to me. And now also he's missing, Josh Allen's missing a security blanket. He's missing his number 1 wide receiver in that offense, and Dalton Kincaid, who pulled his hamstring. So, yeah, I mean, you got to get it out of Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman and Elijah Moore. And I just don't see them beating the Bucs DBs all day. Just don't.
We shall see. It's going to be a great game. I think we'd agree with that. Chicago Bears are headed to Minnesota for a revenge game here. If you remember the last time the Vikings played the Chicago Bears was like game one, I do believe.
It was,
and
I thought it was game 2.
I think it was game 1. Jeremy Singer said yes, game 1. I think it was game 1. So yeah, Bears were just curb stomping them all the way to the fourth quarter. And then J.J. McCarthy and the Bears go into prevent defense, and they come back. I do believe that Dennis Allen will have the same game plan dialed up of how to stop J.J. McCarthy. Looks like he is going to play. My biggest question, again, is what is going to happen with Ben Johnson's game plan? We said this numerous times on the show. Obviously, we know Ben Johnson is an offensive genius and one of the best coaches that are in the league at this point. However, I think sometimes he overthinks it and overschemes himself. You know, like when we played the Giants, one of the worst run teams in football, regardless of that defensive line, had given up over 100 yards previous 5 games, and we come out airmailing it. Never really even got the run game going after just such a great performance by Monangai the week before. I don't know what the plan is for that. Maybe that's his expectations. Like, well, they're going to expect me to run the ball, so I'm going to do this. I don't know. I would just like to see us get back to that ground game. The offensive line has been really great. We've had some great explosive plays. When we do run the ball, it's like 4 or 5 average. I would like to get to that and take a little bit off Caleb. But again, I said it last time, if I can get fourth quarter Caleb when all bets are off the table and he gets to just scramble and do his thing, that's great. And I don't know if that's schemed out of him in the first, 3.5 quarters. As far as managing the clock, managing the ball, doing this, doing that. But it seems like when it's just backyard ball and all bets are off the table, that Caleb just rises to the occasion. I think he's got like 135 QBR or something during that time, 70% completion rate, majority of his touchdowns. It's just he completely excels rushing the ball. And that's what I was talking to you a little bit before, like the fourth quarter Caleb. Fourth quarter Caleb, when he doesn't see 1 or 2 open, he starts looking for ways to escape and run the football versus trying to extend the play and hit that one one ball all down the field. I think it's definitely going to be a revenge game here. I do like the Bears here. Again, the only thing that just makes me pause is that defense. And they've just been cooked so many times. Not really much edge pressure coming from the front line of the Chicago Bears. That's where it's going to come into play. Obviously, Justin Jefferson is going to eat. Jordan Addison's going to eat. And then, of course, you have Naylor if you do knock those 2 down. So that's my only concern, what's going to happen with the Bears secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a legitimate concern. It's on their track. It's indoors. But like we said, just let them eat, bro. Push them off the line. Play smash mouth football. Play with more will. Play with more desire. Play with more heart. Run the ball down their throats and keep it moving. That's
I
all I
agree.
gotta say.
A lot of good lineups here. And one of the lineups we're going to start off is a shit game in Madrid, the Commanders and Dolphins. Now, why do I say it's a shit game? Because both teams are kind of on the. And I will say this, though. The Dolphins got a little spark after that big Buffalo Bills win. It was awesome seeing McDaniel trolling the Bills at the Bills bar. You can say it was AI. You can say that he just lives there. But I would guarantee you probably 9 times out of 10, that man's not driving around the neighborhood with his windows down. Those windows are blacked out for a reason. He does not want to be seen. I thought it was great. I don't know if it was the general manager firing or whatever conversations had in the back room, but I've been on record saying that he looks like a coach that's just ready for it to be over, like a career criminal that's just happy that they get caught finally. I don't see that. I saw a lot lifted off. Now, whether that was a backdoor from the vice president or whatever, look, we got rid of the GM. We understand this. You're safe. You're going to get another year, whether that came off of him or not. But it definitely seems like a lot of the weight has been lifted onto his shoulders. I will give the Dolphins a slight advantage here. I feel like they're on the tick up. I feel like they got a little bit of momentum. Commanders just in shambles, injuries. It's just a down year for the Commanders. I think the Dolphins can get it done here.
Absolutely. And I think their defense has been playing really well as well, too. And obviously, no McLaurin for the Commanders. It's Mariota, it's Tua, it's, Tua's childhood idol that he looked up to and modeled himself after. And I think this will be a fun way to start. I don't think it'll be a low scoring game. I think points will be scored here. But I do think that the Dolphins are just kind of grooving right now. And I love what I see. I love their demeanor. I love the way that, everybody is. It seems like they're just playing for each other and playing for a common goal. And that wasn't something that was happening.
Playing for their jobs. Yeah, that would be a good goal. Tua's fighting for his life.
Like I said, the defense is what I've really taken away and how hard they played against the Bills. So is this maybe a little bit of a letdown spot, possibly, for the defense, right? Like you just came off a huge win at home against Buffalo. You're feeling yourself. You're in Spain. You're in Madrid. You're chilling all week. There's a lot of distractions that can happen. So could I see it happening?
And margaritas, my friends.
I do think it's just the Commanders are so down bad right now. That you got to give me the Dolphins in this.
They need to pack it in, man. There's no reason to bring back Jane Daniels. You're not going to the playoffs. There's no reason to bring back Terry McLaurin. Shout out to you for getting your bag before getting hurt for the year. You got nothing to look forward to. Oh crap! Are my dogs still outside? Oh boy. So that's it.
Can you step away from it.
I don't know. I'm checking to see. I just heard something down there, and I'm like, that didn't sound good. Chargers, Jags. I'm going to bring it up here and see what's up with the computer. The Jags are just an absolute dumpster fire at this point. I don't understand what's going on over there. Jacoby Myers gets traded. Travis Hunter on IR out. Oh, no, they're okay. They're looking okay. Actually, I don't know where the other one's at. So, yeah, let me go grab them real quick. And, you want to get us started on this one real quick? And I'll get them in.
Can't wait to break down the Chargers and the Jags. And
I'll make it quick, Jeff. I'll make it quick.
Absolutely love Trevor Lawrence. Not really. Trevor has been very disappointing. And I think that's one of the reasons that, for me, I just can't bet this game. I think if the number was better, I could maybe get there. 2.5. I definitely can't take the Jags at 2.5. And honestly, this used to always be one of those auto fade spots where we would get there and you would be like, okay, a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast. Shit's not like that anymore. Like that used to be an old time gambling rule. That's not a thing anymore that they have. Justice says slam the Jags 2.5. Why? What's your theory behind why? I can't. I can't take Jacksonville in this spot at all. Let's look at it. They have a better coaching staff over in LA. They have a better quarterback. They have better wide receivers. You could say O-line is maybe a push. Running back, we're going to give the edge to Jacksonville. And then defensively, as long as their defensive line cannot be punching people on field goal attempts, then we'll probably be okay from Walker. I don't know. Harbaugh is just such a better coach. And it's just so tough for me to want to bet against Harbaugh and Herbert, especially when they have it moving, especially when you have guys like Ladd McConkey and Gatson looks like he's, just an animal out there at tight end. Yeah, if I had to pick a spot, I would pick the Chargers, but I don't want to bet this game at all.
And for every reason that you just said is why I will not touch this game, because this feels like something that the NFL has scripted. Everybody, there's no reason why the Jacksonville Jaguars should be even on the same field. Competition, it should not be close at all. But here we are, and it's still only 2.5, Jeff, and it has not moved.
This is like, when you get into it, you're like, oh, the script's been written.
Yeah,
like, here we are. I'm stepping right into the shit. Maybe somebody messes up a line, or a roll, here or there, and we end up getting it. But yeah, it seems, yes.
This one that definitely
the
script has been. It looks like
these Chargers.
You might have
and
somewhere.
Here's the thing too, is that we need the Chargers, especially because you have that other game going on that I know we're going to get into. That's huge for the division and huge for both teams. Because after Denver plays this week, they go on a bye. So it's like you really need this game. You cannot afford to drop games that you're supposed to win, like against Jacksonville. I mean, they handled business last week against Pittsburgh, so I'm not worried whatsoever.
The Chargers, correct me if I'm wrong, still have the huge lead. I know that the actual division is tighter, but they still are like 3-0 in their division.
Yes, they have not lost.
So they have all.
They've beat the Broncos. They have beat the Chiefs already this year.
And
obviously they beat the Raiders. So
they're holding all tiebreakers.
They are holding tiebreakers. But gotta take care of business here this week.
Gotta finish it. The Packers are headed to the Giants. Jeffrey, I had this slated for my survivor pick. Was feeling good about it. Packers get right game, going to the Giants. Giants are still going to be a little scrappy after that Bears loss, fired a coach. You just never know how the team's going to perform. Yeah. And then, Jeffrey, something surprised me.
Yeah.
It is Jameis Winston time, and now I am questioning everything here. Don't think I can keep the Packers. I don't think I can keep the Packers in my survivor now.
I mean, we were talking about this, right? With Jameis, it's going to be either they're going to lose by 30 to the Packers, or Jameis has the ball with a chance to win coming down the field in the fourth quarter, and you're sick to your fucking stomach. I said it depends to me on if Darius Slayton practices and plays. If Darius Slayton plays, then I will give. I like the chances of the Giants a lot more than if he doesn't. Because if he doesn't play, and now you have Jameis out there trying to pepper Theo Johnson and Wan'Dale Robinson, it's a little bit different. Right? Because you just don't have the weapons. And then, I also think this might be the end of Jackson Dart for the rest of the year, too.
There's no reason to bring him back.
Right. You're committed to him. Why keep on rolling him back out there? Yeah, unless you think that you might hire Kafka as the full-time guy and that you want that repetition between the two of them, that's the only reason that you bring him back. But if you don't think Kafka's going to be the guy and you don't think the interim could turn into a permanent, then I think you just bench Dart the rest of the year. We talked about this, and we talked about they got blessed about with the injury, concussion.
I will kind of just disagree just a little bit there, just the fact that I think that if he can get Jameis Winston going and draw up game plans to make Jameis Winston successful, that would just elevate straight over to Jackson Dart. I did see the stat that I sent you as far as his college career. He definitely knows what's up with Jameis Winston. Definitely knows that he's a gunslinger just like him. There's no reason to bring any of them back. Even if Scadaboo can come back, Dart, obviously Neighbors is not coming back. I just thought that was kind of wild that the ball got fired in the middle of all of that. And I really feel like it had to do with more of how he utilized Jackson Dart. I can't think of anything else other than the fact of you're putting the quarterback in harm's way. And the only way that could be justified as an actual termination is if somebody went to him and said, stop doing this. And he did it anyway. That would be the only thing that I could think of, which would be, I mean, how do you fire a guy that obviously the team had moxie? The team was still fighting. The team was still playing for them. And they lost all of their young talent. That's all. I don't know. Kind of crazy to me. But
yeah, I didn't like the firing at all because I thought you were finally starting to get some there with him and Dart together. The team seemed to start having some continuity. Even your DBs who are ass were playing better the past few games. So I don't know, man. I've never been a Schoen guy. I think he's a snake. I think he's a terrible GM. Obviously, upper management disagrees with me. So, but I can tell you this: Brian Dable will definitely land on his feet. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in Buffalo in some capacity in one way or another.
maybe he just becomes the head coach there. Never know. Texans and Titans, Jeffrey. Texans favored by 5.5 again. No Stroud again, but the the Titans are absolute ass. Do I roll the dice here, Jeffrey, and put the Texans as the server pick?
No. I mean they maybe. I mean, I sure. Or is on the road? I don't know, man.
Throw you a big curveball with that one.
I didn't really think about that one. Davis Mills. I don't know. Ladarius Sneed just got like indicted on federal charges or something. Who's their number one cornerback in Tennessee? Who's been? They had the worst secondary this year by far. Yeah. No, I don't know. No.
Well, we got a few more to pick from, Jeffrey.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to get some. Obviously, if CJ Stroud was playing, I'd feel a lot more better about it.
Jameis's passing total is 225 yards on Hard Rock. So if you're looking for it, the line is pretty low. If you think he's going to go for 310, 4 tutties, good luck, Godspeed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Breaking news here. Jalen Johnson just activated the 21-day practice window to come off IR. That's big news for Chicago Bears. I just feel like if CJ Stroud was here, it was a no-brainer. Obviously the Texans defense is going to feast off Cam Ward in this offense. But it's just like it could very well be a 10-3 game. And do I want to sweat through 4 quarters of Davis Mills with my life in his hand?
Tough ask. But I think you'll be fine.
Do I want to put my life with Davis Mills or Jordan Love that I have a passion of hate from against the gunslinger of Jameis Winston? It's all bad, Jeff. It's all bad. But so hopefully we can find something a little bit later here.
You can mitigate it with this thought process as well, too, is that if you do take the Packers and the Packers lose and the Bears win, now all of a sudden you're talking about multiple games up. Now that doesn't feel as bad.
Could care less. If it doesn't put money in my bank account, I could care less.
Okay.
And that's a good chunk of change. I think. How many people are left? Are you still in, by the way? Is that?
No.
13. I think Ricky's brother's still in too. So take those 11. And then my other one, that's down to 2, which I thought that was pretty weird because that's one that you could reuse teams. So like how is there only 2 people left? But whatever, we'll take it.
You're alive?
Yeah, it's between me and somebody else, and I just took the Patriots, so I know who he took this week. I can't see it; it's like a separate thing. So
interesting.
Hopefully he takes somebody else. This is another one, Jeffrey. Panthers headed to the Falcons. Falcons favored by 3.5 here. We just saw the Panthers put up just a turd bowl as they usually do. Falcons were blanked by the Panthers in Carolina. Is this a get-right game for the Falcons, Jeffrey? And do I want to put trust and faith in Michael Penix Jr.?
Well, I think you're going to put your faith in the running backs. And I think that Bijan and Algier, if I am Raheem Morris, is kind of the game plan that I'm going to roll with. Listen, obviously we know Drake London's there, and he's great. Is J.C. Horn playing in this game? Not J.C. Horn. Go ahead. Let me look something up real quick.
Go ahead. What am I going ahead with? I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know. I thought you were going to talk about the game at all.
I thought that they were going to go the Bijan and the Tyler Algier. They would have done it last game as well.
Yeah, they should have. But
I just don't know. Who were you looking for again? I have the IR report up here, right?
No, we're good. I mean, Rico Dowdle questionable, so that could be a thing. I don't know. I do think this is a bounce back game for Atlanta, though, for sure. I understand people taking Carolina. They have not looked great as of late. So
No, I can't touch this.
I agree. Atlanta should not be favored by more than 3 against anyone. I can't take Bryce Young, man. I can't do it. And we always talk about how much better Bryce has been at home than he has on the road. I don't know. Bryce on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Who's he going to throw it to outside the run?
I mean McMillan. McMillan's great. Like McMillan
Tetris. I forgot about Tetris.
Is legit. Probably just a no bet game, honestly.
We're definitely not betting. I'm just trying to hone in on a survivor pick here, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Bengals headed to the Steelers.
Survivor here, but
Joey Burrow practicing again. The window is open, according to reports. Next week is when he could potentially come back. Must win for the Steelers here, Jeffrey. I think as well. Correct? Can Rodgers get the offense back on track?
I don't know if it's a must win, but I mean, I think they are gonna want to win. Obviously. But I don't think
if you lose, that puts you at 5-5. Now the Ravens are only a game behind, and I think that's all you're really worried about here. Of course, I don't think anybody wants to play the Bengals if they can somehow get to 6-6 at some point.
Listen, the Burrow thing will be interesting. I think this is a must win this week for another team in the division, but I don't know. I think this is like get right game for Jaylen Warren, and I just think that Cincinnati's defense is just so bad. And can they get the pressure on Flacco like they got on Daniel Jones? Will be my question. And it's back at home. Can you pin your ears back? Can you feed off the crowd? That'll be my only question. I know that Flacco has just absolutely crushed Tomlin his entire life as well, so it's tough. But I don't know. I have trouble doing it, and I do think their secondary is in shambles. By the way, for this Pittsburgh team, so they did just pick up Asante Samuel Jr. though, who has been a pretty good corner. I don't know why he didn't have a job all year.
Some of these people that I got picked up lately, I'm like, wow. I mean, I recognize the names and they've been playing. I'm like, wow, they've been sitting there all year long.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting. 49ers Cardinals, Jeffrey. This one seems like an easy one as well. 49ers favored by 2.5 here, headed to Arizona. Which Jacoby are we going to get? And Brock Purdy is back. Are we going to be off the rust?
Back. Has this line moved at all since Purdy's been back?
I do not believe so. Chad would be the one that would be able to know that one, as I'm sure he saw it when it first got released. Looks like it's at 3 now.
It is at 3 on Hard Rock. It's kind of a spot play, I feel like, for the Cardinals, but I'm just gonna have trouble getting there on this game.
Crazy. Oddshark is with you, Jeffrey. Oddshark has Arizona winning this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get there. I understand why. I've looked at Jacoby Brissett a little bit closer, and I've not been too high on some of his throws. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing this week because he got an appendectomy, so he's going to be out. I don't know. Is it a Wilson game? Who knows?
It's a game that I just won't bet on. How about that?
No, Chad, you're right. I mean, that's why the line is what it is, right? That's why it is. So.
It is what it is. Now, the game of the week, the Seattle Seahawks are headed to L.A. to face on against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. This is going to be a great game. Everyone has this game built up as the game of the year. So you know what that means, Jeffrey? It's probably going to be terrible.
Nah, I think it'll be great. Honestly, this is such a tough game to bet. I would love to bet the Rams here, but the Seahawks defense has been so good, and I understand Sean McVay's been doing this 3 tight end sets a lot, and then just kind of matching up and playing personnel depending on how you react to it. If you keep the two safeties, high, he's just going to sit there and pound the ball with you. If you bring him down, he's going to try to mitigate and hit Puka and Devontae. It's going to be a chess match, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch if you love football. because McDonald's is a great defensive coordinator. He has the weapons now that he's been there for a second year that he's kind of brought in through the draft and through different pieces. They get really good pressure with their front four. My thing is Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold going to turn into a pumpkin? And this will be a big find out game because you are playing a team that does get pressure. You are playing Verse and Fisk, and you are playing a team that brings pressure as well too. So, can you not turn into a pumpkin? Can the clock not strike midnight on you?
Jeffrey has been waiting for this moment for quite a while. And as I see the smile start over there, that confirms it. We've been waiting on the pumpkin to turn into for quite a while from Sam Darnold. When is he going to see ghosts? It could be this weekend. We shall see. Who do you like in this one, though, Jeff?
I do like the Rams here. I do like
just straight up. Yeah. Good enough to put in for a survivor pick?
No, absolutely fucking not.
I like that. Chiefs headed to Broncos. Chiefs -3.5. This is absolutely a must-win for the Cincinnati, Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion. The Broncos are just a team that is either on cloud 9 or cloud 0, and there's far in between.
Yeah, this is an odd line to me. I just didn't think that they would just give Kansas City this much love. This is another spot play. This is Andy Reid coming off of a bye after a loss. Like, it's a spot play. Now, do I think that history always goes like that? No. There are one-offs. And this Broncos team is going to make it tough on Patrick Mahomes all day. That's one thing you can guarantee. And it's in Mile High. Denver going on a bye the following week. It's a must-win for Kansas City. The 3.5 is just too much, in my opinion. I think Kansas City can win a close game, but 3.5 or 4, I'm probably going to take the Broncos and the better defense every single time.
We shall see if we get into that Mahomes magic. One of the games in the AFC North, I think that you were alluding to earlier. The Baltimore Ravens headed to Cleveland. Baltimore is 7.5 point underdogs here at home. It's sink or swim for the Ravens at this point.
Baltimore is 7.5 point favorites.
Correct. I said the Browns were 7.5 point dogs at home.
Yes.
Did I not? Okay. Yeah.
I thought you said the Ravens, but that's okay.
No, you're good. It does seem like a lot of points, though, against the defense, against the Lamar Jacksons. That's still not 100%. Yeah, I mean, I think Browns probably plus 7.5 here are the way to go.
Browns plus 7.5. Browns money line. Do whatever you want here. Cleveland's
do whatever you want. Just throw any money you want on the Browns and
throw whatever you want on the Browns. You're fine. I told you I watched all that Minnesota game last week, and I came away with that Baltimore is still not it. I just think that Cleveland's a way better defense, and I think that Baltimore's defense is not very good at all. And like, you're going to get some garbage Kelvin Sampson, pass receiving touchdown out of the backfield, and that's going to be the ball game. Judkins should be able to run a little bit here. As long as Gabriel just doesn't make mistakes, man. That's the one thing that you can't have. We're betting the Browns. We love the Browns. We cannot afford a defensive or a special teams touchdown in this game, though. That's all I'm going to say. We can't afford a defense or a special teams touchdown by the Ravens in this game. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. All right. We shall see what happens here in one of the night game, or the night game, which we talked about a little bit earlier. The Detroit Lions are headed to Philadelphia here. Eagles favored by 2.5.
Yeah.
The Eagles offense to me is pathetic. I know that the Detroit Lions secondary is still a little bit banged up. Hopefully they're just going to stack the box and make Hurts beat him with his arm. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith sightings, and then on the other side, Goff outside, which you preluded many times on the show. Outside Goff versus inside Goff are two different things. What do you think is going to happen here, Jeffrey? Do you think the Lions can come in and get it done, or is this just another Eagles stand-up spot at home?
I think this game is 35-14 Philly.
So a beat down.
Yeah. I just think it's a bad matchup, first of all, for the Lions. I wasn't really impressed. I know people were like, Dan Campbell was great when he took over play calling. I'm like, you're not playing the fucking Commanders this week. All right. You're playing the reigning world champion Philadelphia Eagles, who made great moves at the deadline. How he killed it, man. We talked about Jalen Phillips. That's the missing piece they've been looking for all year. The way that he's able to get upfield and open things up for Carter and Davis. Now you just strengthened your secondary a little bit as well, too. I know Jair Alexander got there and decided that he was good. He was going to leave. Yeah,
you're gonna have to help me out with this cat reference. I don't know what that means.
I'm probably
is this like a 6-7 type thing?
I have no clue. I'm probably not going to be in the majority here on the Eagles. I think a lot of people will probably be on Philly. I don't see it, man. I did see the whole AJ Brown tells fantasy governors to drop me thing. I think, and I have a different opinion than most people on this, but I think that AJ Brown is absolutely fine. I think he's in a great mental spot. I think he went on a stream with his boy, right? And he's making light of a situation, right? You have a guy on your team who knows that they're winning games despite the offense. He knows the offense needs to be better. That's why he's saying these things. Is winning great? Yes, winning is absolutely fantastic. And you're winning these games like this, it's great. But AJ Brown knows that when it comes down to the Super Bowl and repeating as a Super Bowl champion, the offense needs to be humming. And he's out there trying to challenge them to be better. Yes, it's great that we're winning games, but we need to be winning games in better fashion. That's what I've taken from it. I love it. I have zero issues with him saying any of this stuff. I watched that little, what are they called? Like a Kaggle or something like that, where they have like all the reporters around there in the locker room. And he sat there and spoke open and freely for about 7 minutes.
Yeah. Said, no, I don't take anything back.
Absolutely fantastic. Hats off, young man. Hats off. I thought it was great. I loved it. And that's why I think too, like this whole thing that they're like dysfunctional, I think is absolute bullshit. I think they're winning games and they're playing well without having their fastball. And once they find that fastball, once you break through, this is a perfect example of a bad defense in Detroit that they can showcase their fastball on. And I think AJ and Devontae are absolutely going to fucking eat this week. That's why I love it.
Let's not forget Goddard as well. They got a lot of weapons.
All of them.
They just got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And the last game to round out the week is going to be the Cowboys Raiders Monday Night Football. We'll talk about
it really called a gangbang? It's not called a gangbang. Is it really? You guys are sickos.
What do you mean, you guys? First of all,
these media.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go to the locker room and get the gangbang in. What?
Yeah, he is part of that group. Anything to wrap us up with the NFL there, Jeffrey?
Nah,
it's gonna be a good week.
Fitzpatrick put out in our group that the Cowboys are a smash spot on Monday.
Yeah, well, we'll see we'll talk about that on Monday.
I don't know why. Why does he think that?
I don't know, dude. Because he's a Cowboys fan.
I guess.
Irvin and Chris Godwin both out. Not a huge surprise there.
Yeah, it's fine. Give him another week. Bucky hasn't been hit yet. That's the thing. Like everyone's like, oh, he's going through walkthroughs. They're doing stretching and warm-ups. I'm like, motherfucker broke his clavicle. You got to see how when he gets landed on by a 350-pound lineman, how he's going to react. I don't care that he's running calisthenics out on the football field.
Should be interesting. Good slate of football this weekend. It's gonna take a lot to home in on this survivor pick, which I do believe is, I think next week is a double pick week as well. So
you might want to look ahead the next week to see who plays.
Well, this is why I had the Packers here, Jeffrey. Let me tell you why I had the Packers here. Because I don't foresee taking the Packers anyway the rest of the way out. And that's why I was taking the Packers. When I look at their schedule, all right, so they have the Giants here. They have the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears, the Broncos, the Bears, the Ravens, and the Vikings again. You might be able to slide them in there once in the Vikings, maybe again. Obviously, I'm not going to take them against the Bears, regardless of how I feel, because that's just – so I was thinking that this is probably the last stand for Green Bay for me to utilize them.
Love it. Let's go Pack.
I did, yeah.
Say it with me.
No.
Let's go Pack.
But I also, I mean, I do have I didn't realize I had the Patriots left. I probably should have took the Patriots. I do have the Dolphins available, Jeffrey. That's good. Yeah, no. I do have the Bills.
Like those international games are.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Who else is a big?
Don't take the
favorite?
Bills this week either. I don't think it's a.
I have the Ravens available.
No.
I have I do have the Cowboys available against the Raiders. That might actually be a better one.
Here's the thing: is that
That's
everybody that you're talking about is on the road, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to take one of these teams as a road favorite, right? You're going to take one of these teams as a road favorite playing somebody else. I think if you look at those teams that are lined up that they're playing against, your best bet is the New York Football Giants for a win.
You want me to take the Giants over the Packers?
No. The Packers, okay. I'm saying those teams that you named, the teams that they're playing, I think out of all those, the Giants are probably going to be your easiest game. The only thing that always gives me hesitation here, head coaching debut with Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, dude. Oh,
it's so gross.
I felt so good. Even if they had Jackson Dart, I still felt good.
It's so gross.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's move it over to the college side. A couple games going on this weekend with some playoff implications, but let's start with two teams that are definitely not in the playoff hunt. That would be Florida State and Florida. Florida State has Virginia Tech coming into the house here, 14.5. The kids are still showing up. Let's get a win one for the Gipper here. Let's end on a high note before we get into rivalry week with the Florida State. Jeffrey, any issues with Virginia Tech or smooth sailing?
Well, rivalry week's in 2 weeks. It's not.
That's what I mean. But I think, don't we have buys going next week?
No, we play NC State. I think we play NC State on a Friday night or some shit like that.
Okay, my bad. I thought we had buys before.
Shout out, by the way, too. I know Florida and Florida State just played in basketball, college basketball. Really good game.
I almost sent you a little emote after that one, but I was like, you know what, man, let's.
We were 18.5 point underdogs. I bet us. It was like plus $1,200 on the money line for FSU. And I was like, that seems doable. That just seems like a wild
good value. Just
you know what I mean? Like I was like, I have to throw money on that. And obviously, Kid hits a big 3 in the corner for you guys to win by 2. But I like what Luke Laux is doing with FSU basketball too. You guys look great as well. I know you're starting to integrate some of your backcourt into the fold. But man, your bigs are incredible, and you got those kids that are 6'9", 6'10" playing the wing. You know, Condon and
we have that 7-footer. That's
it's like 7'8", right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Tallest guy in college.
Anyway, I digress, but I thought it was a good game.
Florida
I watched the whole thing.
A basketball school now.
Yeah, I mean,
I went to my HOA
I guess
meeting.
We are too. I don't know.
I went up to my HOA meeting. There's an old timer up there. He's a Gator. And, you know, he's like what we just think of like a Southern farmer, you know, just real small, talks with the draw. He's like, he looks at me. And I think I had this shirt on. And he goes, "Guess we're a basketball team now, huh? Basketball school." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we're a basketball school."
From Alachua County, probably. Anyway, yeah, we've got Virginia Tech this week. Florida State should win this game, but I mean, we said that how many times? You're 2 touchdowns. I think Mike Norvell needs to win the next 2 because you're not going to beat Florida at the end of the year, and you have to win these next 2 to get bowl eligible. So I know Florida's trying to get there as well, but I think if you get to a bowl after winning 2 games, I think that's something that you can sell in terms of progress. I don't see them firing him.
Well, to your point, this is not the cycle to do it.
No, and like at
especially
a certain
head
point,
coaching jobs coming up as well.
I know Florida State fans are really prideful. Man, we're not Ohio State. All right, we're not fucking Michigan. We're not Notre Dame. All right, like
you're not Florida.
We're not going there.
I would just say
y'all's poverty ass too, but you know they just built the new football only stuff. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but you spent so much money doing that. You're gonna go buy Mike Norvell out for $50 million, $60 million, like.
I think to your point, I think Norvell needs to get a little bit more homegrown, a little bit more recruitment, a little less portal. Like you said,
I
trying
don't
to
see it
patch
happening,
patch
man.
a team together,
They
through the
don't
portal.
they don't recruit high school. It's just something they don't do. They don't do it well. They don't do it often. They continuously get beat out by people on the trail. They like their big commitments that they hope for on national signing. They never flip to FSU. Um, I don't know, man, and I don't know. At a certain point, you got to put enough effort into it, and I just don't think that there's enough effort or emphasis on high school recruiting. And it's like you did really well in the portal, but you did really well in the portal before everybody caught on to the portal, and now everybody's in the portal, and now you got to compete against everybody, and so it's not the same as it was 3 years ago.
Well, there'll definitely be some rebuilding from the other school. A little bit to the east, the Florida Gators are taking on Ole Miss in Ole Miss. Ole Miss favored here by 11.5. Should be an easy cakewalk. The big question, obviously, is going to be surrounding this entire week is Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin going to Florida, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be shoving a microphone in his face. What do you think? Asking his kids about it. And I think that's complete bullshit. I think that these kids are out there. They're on a serious playoff run, and they shouldn't be being asked questions about whether or not their coach is staying. Of course, I've said behind the scenes, apparently it's a done deal. We'll see. I don't know. Then I also heard somebody talking about, Lane Kiffin to the Giants. And I know that wasn't you. I heard it on program. And again, in my mind, I just had to go back to Lane Kiffin's history. And I'm like, he hasn't been good until Ole Miss. Like now we're talking about him being an NFL coach. He's just writing his own ticket. Gators are going to give him the highest paid. And I'm like, dudes, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I could care less. Whatever.
TJ is trying to make Nick Saban to the Giants become a thing.
I did see that one. Where was that from?
That was TJ and Gene. They just came up with this and they like put into a thumbnail or whatever and like put it out.
Did that get sent on our group chat?
And then like some other website picked it up. It was pretty funny, actually.
That is funny.
TJ sent it to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, look at this website. After we put it out, we did this." And they're like, "Rumors swirl that Nick Saban could be added to the New York Giants." Like the internet is a wild place.
Get some talking.
This is going to be a weird week, right? Like Gator fans travel for this game. It's in Oxford. It's beautiful. It's the Grove. It's a vibe. It's Ole Miss is a great spot to go play college football at. And to have all the Gator fans walking around there with their chests out thinking we're stealing your coach this week, it's just going to be a weird vibe. And I know they are because I was listening to Edgar Thompson talk, who's a beat writer, and he was talking about, I'm going to walk around the Grove and just, kind of gauge what Ole Miss fans are really feeling right now. And I'm like, bro, they're like,
well, if you're an Ole Miss
top
fan,
five in the country, like,
yeah, you're in shambles. Your team's doing great, but you're in shambles because literally every coaching job that's coming up, they're talking about your coach being poached. Not just Florida. Every single coaching job. You know that he's gone after this year. All you can do, guys, is just hold on. He's gone. Whether it's the Gators, whether it's LSU, whether it's the pros, he's gone.
I don't know if he's gone. I don't know, man.
I think he is. We shall see.
I think, weird things happen, emotions happen, conversations happen. And I know that you say that it's already a done deal, but until that season's over and until I've seen him tell Ole Miss that he's leaving and I see him put pen to paper at Florida, I got to wait and see.
And justifiably so. And like I said, I'm just reporting my inside information. I could care less. I'll tell you, college football to me is it's getting worse and worse every year to be a fan of kids. So I take everything with a grain of salt.
But see, like, even if you're that emotionally attached to Gainesville, okay. But the fact that, like, if Norvell had left and gone to Alabama, they said Lane was a lock. It was already agreed to that Lane was coming to FSU. So if you're that emotionally attached to Gainesville, then why would you be okay going to coach at Florida State? I don't know. It's just the whole thing to me seems very weird. It's really weird. I don't know. It'll be something to monitor. Is DJ Lagway playing this week?
I don't.
Is he the starting quarterback?
I don't even know, Jeff. I don't even know. We're a basketball school. We're on to basketball.
Jeremy, we already broke that news about 35 minutes ago.
It's okay. He's probably pooping. Notre Dame headed to Pittsburgh, Jeffrey. Notre Dame favored by 12.5 here. Does Notre Dame just need the win, or do they need to make a statement to solidify their college playoff position?
Yeah, I think they need to come out and at least push the cover. I don't know, man. It's tough. So like, it's so funny how we just pick and choose stats on what we want to use to be able to form our narrative. You know, where it's
I have
like,
no narratives, Jeffrey.
no, not
I
you.
am I am pure unadulterated
I
passion.
was listening to Colin Cowherd talk about Notre Dame and about how unfair it is, and about how Notre Dame has to have USC on its schedule, and you know,
I listened to
US,
the same thing about USC doesn't
yeah,
need them.
yeah, and USC doesn't need them, and he was talking about like how just USC's resume is very comparable to Notre Dame, and then he like pulled the fact that like they beat Illinois, and that at one point Illinois was ranked, and I'm just like
Not a
it
big
just
fan of Colin.
it just drives me nuts sometimes that these guys just like hop on just try to twist shit to whatever it's like not even factual what you're saying.
Well, that doesn't
Listen,
matter in the media, Jeffrey. If
I
that was
know.
the case, I wouldn't have a show.
It makes you want to come through the radio sometimes when I'm listening to this guy. It's so elitist to anyway.
I was listening to him yesterday while I was steam cleaning the grout. I was doing my grout tiles and I had it on, and I actually stopped and I'm like, what did he just say?
It's egregious the shit that he says and gets away with on a daily basis.
Yes,
I think Notre Dame rolls here though.
They need to. And they need to shut people like me up, because I still don't. They might be a great team, but they lost their only 2 eye candy tests. Regardless if they lost by 3 points, whatever, they lost it. I need to see them beat up on somebody. That's all.
Pitt's got some kids though. Like watching that FSU Pitt game, like Pitt does have some kids that are like they're pretty good. So
Pitt to me, and this could just be me talking shit or whatever. Maybe it's from Prentice back in the day, but to me, Pitt always seems like they got big guys in the trenches. Their trenches are always stout. Yeah. That could just be me. I don't know.
Do you find it interesting that Miami is now back into the top college football playoff?
No. And I think that as a direct reflection of Notre Dame, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, we'll see. A lot of ball to be played left. And another one that's going to have a big implications, Oklahoma headed to Alabama. Alabama favored by 5.5 here. This is very big for college football playoffs here. Oklahoma loses, they're likely out. Oklahoma wins, they're both likely in. Big implications here. A lot of people are picking Oklahoma to win here. It's going to be a scrappy game. It's going to be a great game. One of the few that's going to be highlighted on the Saturday slate for me. I'm just gonna be a fan to sit back and watch. I don't know enough about the teams. We all have talked about this over and over again. It is what it is. I'm just looking for a good football game out of Tuscaloosa this week.
I think you'll get one too. I think it's going to be a trenches game. It's just going to be like one of those knockdown, drag out, big program versus big program, a la, honestly, what we saw Packers Eagles, right? Like it's going to be really tough to score here. Can Simpson make the plays down the field to get guys the ball? Get guys balls. Yeah, that was a tough one. And John Mateer, I need you to not turn the ball over. If you can not turn the ball over, you have a really good shot here. I do think the 5.5 is a little bit too much on Alabama side. I would definitely lean toward Oklahoma.
Last one on the slate, Texas headed to Georgia. This is another one with big implications. Georgia favored by 6.5 here. Texas already in playoffs, but a loss to Georgia could definitely knock that out, because that would be a Texas with 3 losses. The one bad loss, obviously, to the University of Florida. Texas needs to win here. The biggest question is going to be is if Texas can pull it off, does Georgia still stay in the college playoffs? I believe that they will. You could see a lot of SEC teams in the playoff, obviously, as well as the Big Ten. And this is the carnage that we talked about earlier in the year. We talked about a lot of the stuff's going to take care of itself by the end of the year.
Yeah. If you're Miami or Notre Dame, you are locked into this game. And you are huge Georgia fans. Unfortunately for you, I think Texas is going to come in there and beat Georgia. And I just think that Texas is starting to groove right now. That Mississippi State game is like such a one-off, but it's like something kind of flipped for Texas there. I don't know if it was a realization of like you need to bring your A shit every game. But they have the guys, and that's the thing that's been so frustrating is that they have the guys. And so I don't know. It will be a fun environment. I will say that. And can Texas not turn the ball over? Because if you turn the ball over, Georgia's probably going to score. Texas, great defense, though. I think Georgia's a little bit overrated when it comes to that. It should be a really good game. I like Texas here, though.
To your point, they're going to be playing for their lives. We're gonna see some serious just football, right? We're going to see some serious football in this game. Any other games of the NCAA nature, Jeffrey, that jumping out at you this week?
No, I mean, USF Navy should be a fun one. 2 7-2 teams going against each other. Obviously, USF looks like that's going to be the team that tries to be your group of 5 that gets in there. And I heard Paul Feinbaum, who's another guy who I just want to slap the shit out of.
I know you're feeling
so much.
Paul.
And Paul is just going off about how this is a charity thing. No other no other league, or college football is not serious. The baseball would never allow a AAA team to come in and be part of their MLB playoffs. And I thought that was a really wild take, considering that USF went in and beat an SEC school this year in the University of Florida, considering that they were somewhat in the game with Miami until the very end. I just don't understand the argument. But listen, Paul Feinbaum's going to
gets the clicks, baby. Gets the clicks.
It's got me talking about it,
Exactly. Well, the MLB wrapped up their 2025 awards. Jeffrey, some MVPs handed out. Aaron Judge gets the American League. This is his 3rd time, I do believe, or 2nd, back to back. I do know that.
Yeah,
You're a Cal Raleigh guy, I know that. But, I mean, when you look at the numbers outside of the home runs, it was Judge the whole way.
So, I think Judge is a generational hitter. He's one of the best that we've ever seen in this generation. But I think sometimes you have to honor greatness when it doesn't come around too often. And I think a guy who sits behind a plate and catches every fucking game and is basically the manager on the field. And
every game is a little bit of a stretch. He has a lot of breaks. Catchers have breaks.
He catches most of the time. Correct?
80% of the time.
What's the 3 mean, Jeremy? What are you throwing up gang signs over here for?
You said he only missed 3 games. Are you talking about miss for an injury, or are you talking about rest days?
Put your headphones on and get on here.
Oh, well,
you're pissing me off right now.
Welcome to my world.
Cal only missed 3 games. I guess we just don't care about defense anymore. It doesn't matter. It's all about hitting, and it's all about that aspect of it. I just think while Judge definitely had better numbers, Cal's numbers were competitive enough that when you add in the defensive factor and a Gold Glove winner, that I think that should be part of the conversation as well too.
According to this, it says he only missed 1 game. I mean, I had even fantasy, and I know there was multiple times when he was resting. Now, that could also be he sat for rest and came in and pitch hit later in the game. They count that as a game played.
Well, he could also be DHing as well too.
He DH'd.
Yeah. So like Judge the liability, in my opinion, in the outfield. I know people say that's overplayed, but like
I watched the base is what I heard.
I watched the World Series 2 years ago. I watched him shit the bed. So I really don't know what y'all are talking about. I understand there's a lot of Yankee fans out there in all my chats, but I feel for Cal, because that season will never happen again. Like that's a one-off. That's not something that will ever happen again. And they gave it to the guy that has gotten it every year.
The saltiness of the earth. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, he had the 60 home runs. He batted 247. His OBP was 359. OPS was 948. I mean, has an MVP ever got an MVP hitting under 250?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Judge back to back in the NL MVP went back to back as well in Shohei Ohtani. This is his fourth MVP.
They should just name it the Shohei Ohtani MVP award.
Yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, it might be. I mean, you never know. I mean, we have the Cy Young. This could be the Shohei award. I don't know. Pretty crazy still. I think as long as he's playing both ways, I think that he's going to be, I think he keeps doing just minimally what he's doing. I don't see any way anybody takes it away from him.
You see Jeff Dye was doing a stand-up about the Dodgers, and he's like, yeah, congratulations to all these Dodgers fans out there. You know, really happy for you guys. You know, I know most of you
They've been through so much.
Are very much about, you know, eat the rich, you know, tax the rich. He went on the whole diatribe about it. It was pretty funny. He's like, you know, you spent $1.8 billion, you know, and you outsourced your jobs to another country. It was just the whole thing was pretty good.
No kings. Americans
yeah, he's like that's what he finished with. He goes, no kings, but you're rooting for the Kings.
Yep. American Cy Lunderer. I don't think there's any question on both these Cy Youngs. Tariq Skubal.
Yeah, unbelievable.
From Detroit. Yeah, what a great day. And then
is he locked up long term, Jeremy? Skubal?
Back-to-back Cy Youngs. And then on the NL side, obviously Paul Skeens wins coming off of Rookie of the Year, and now Cy Young, first one to do that. Again, that guy needs to get the hell off that team.
You got to get him out of there, man. Get him out of there. Throw a package together. Some team throw a package together. The Dodgers probably have enough assets to be able to go out and trade for Paul Skeens.
Dodgers or the Yankees, one of the two. You know, the Cubs aren't getting onto it.
One more year until the lockout, right?
Yeah, one more year.
Okay.
Rookie of the Year, Nick Kurtz from the Oakland. Nick Kurtz, Oakland Athletics or Las Vegas Athletics, whatever they are now. And Jeffrey, the NL Rookie of the Year, beating out Cade. My Cubbies, your catcher, Drake Baldwin.
Yeah.
Who slashed 270 average. Wow, that's pretty good. AL Manager of the Year, Stephen Voigt, back to back.
He's gonna be a monster next year, Drake Baldwin, by the way. You know, that was you got Murphy, you get, you know, Travis d'Arnaud. There was kind of a cog there. I think it'll open up a little bit. I don't understand what the Braves did. I'm so confused. They hired Walt Weiss as their manager. For what? I don't fucking know. I thought they were getting the bench coach from the Dodgers. That's what the whole thing was, is why they were waiting until after the World Series. The World Series finishes, you immediately announce that you made your hire, and it's not the guy who everybody said you were hiring.
Interesting. Very interesting. And Pat Murphy from the Milwaukee Brewers gets.
What are the odds that all three of my fantasy leagues last night, my opponents have Travion Henderson? Only being in 3 leagues, in all 3 leagues. And one of them, the guy started him in his second flex, which is just my biggest pet peeve in the world. It's a Thursday night game. You're starting a running back in the flex.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I wish I could offer you some comfort, but I'm in my own fantasy hell. Have been for weeks. I think I've swallowed the pill and come to the exception of just not my year.
The worst part is that I'm in second place in 2 of these leagues, and I'm playing the first place team.
Yeah, well, at least you're in the playoffs. I got nothing. I'm fantasy shambles, and now just reflecting on it, just
Jeremy, you still undefeated?
Killed my mood.
I am. Pulled out a big win last week. Don't know how. Romeo Dobbs got me 1.4. Ended up winning. The AJ Brown not getting anything helped me out though. But yeah, playing TJ this week.
Good luck.
Good luck. Anything to add to finish us off with here, boys?
Is Skubal under contract?
He is not. He's looking for an extension. He said he's not really sure where it's going to go. They're saying it could be anywhere from $300 to $400 million.
And what you're
for
going to
10
find
years.
is, I think a lot of people are going to be very reluctant to do that with the lockout coming. That's the underlying tone. I've heard a lot of free agent talk this year. Is nobody's going to want to be signing these people to a huge number when they don't even know if there's going to be a salary cap when they come back. How is that going to affect I'm sure that there'll be some language in there for prior contracts. I just sure hope that put something in there in regards to what the Dodgers have done, so that they eat all that crow on the years that these people are actually playing. So a lot of interesting stuff's going to be coming out of MLB in the next year or two. We shall see.
Have you watched Internet Invitational at all?
Don't even know what that is.
It's really good.
I've been working.
Just finished up yesterday. It was basically Barstool Sports. Dave Portnoy decided to put on a internet tournament for all of the YouTube golfers and different personalities and people that are out there. And so you have people who are like +8 handicaps, and you have people who are like 25 handicaps. And it's kind of Ryder Cup format where, not necessarily, but they basically team up into these teams. Whoever wins, it's really good. You get a chance to check it out. All the people who are like involved in golf are like, I think the numbers that it's doing is absolutely insane. It's first episode already has like 6 million views. And then they just finished up with the last episode, and I think that one already has like 2.5 or 3 million. It just came out yesterday. So it's
worth the watch.
I don't know, kind of like the new wave of golf, I feel like, because it's cool to like it's funny to see.
Yeah, have to check it out.
Shout out to Frankie Borelli yesterday. Very interesting.
Go Frankie.
No. I don't want to ruin it for anybody if you haven't seen it.
Then don't.
But I do. Anyway, we won't do it. I'll tell you.
All
this.
right.
Okay.
All right.
Any good
Well,
shows
that's
you're
gonna do it
watching
for
lately, by the way?
No. I just finished Yellow Jackets on Paramount Plus, which is
Landman comes out.
Yeah.
When does
Started
Landman come out?
Tulsa King again, season 3, I guess it is. I'm on that. Nothing really new though. Just kind of hanging out and doing whatever. Henderson's mom closed my door now. Cool. All right, that's going to do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan. We appreciate all the love, everybody stopping by. If you do happen to be driving over this weekend while watching football, please, for the love of God, stay out of the left-hand lane.
Be great.